Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 218 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is my second year ever officially running. Within the first full year, at the age of 31, I was able to run 1,002 miles. And I did that within 175 days out of the year in 2020. So, me going for 365 days this year is over 100% increase in the amount of days as opposed to the amount of days I ran last year. Not to mention this year, it's all in a row with no days off. And going for 1,500 miles is over a 50% increase in the amount of miles that I put in, opposed to last year. So, if that wasn't enough of a challenge, of course I had to continue to step it up still. And I challenged myself to run two big major races within this time frame. One of those races being a 50K trail race. That was in the Yankee Springs 50K trail race in Middleville, Michigan. That was on June 5th, 2021. I was able to get that finished in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. So I'm officially an ultra runner, and not only that, I was able to actually keep the streak alive up to it and ever since, which I find to be the bigger feat. But I also challenged myself to run a marathon as well this year. That will be coming up in October. That is the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I'll be running the Motor City Challenge of that, which entails me running the competitive 5K and the competitive mile the day before running the actual race.
Distance 2 miles. Average pace 9:03 per mile.
Alright, 9-minute mile pace. So that is what I will be doing this year for the races. That is in October. Really looking forward to that. Other than that, we can kind of break into mileage, guys. So for the day today, as you heard, I'm on mile 2, but I'm running to the river and back like I have for the first 4 days of this week, and even Sunday of last week. So this is the 6th day in a row I've ran to the river and back. So it'll put me at a 4.7 miles for the day, right around there. I don't have official mileage for the week, month, or year, but I will cut in a little snippet, video snippet right here that'll give you the official day, week, month, and year mileage. We're doing that right here.
Daily mileage is 4.7, weekly mileage is 23.6, monthly mileage is 28.4, and yearly mileage is 1,031.2.
So now that you got the mileage, let's talk about the monthly mileage. So every single month I challenge myself to a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to. And I also start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money and awareness for that charity throughout the month. So for the first 7 months, we were able to raise money for 7 great charities. Now we're sitting here within the 8th month, the month of August, and we're raising money for yet another great charity. This one being the National Psoriasis Foundation. And what they do is they focus on psoriasis. And why I chose them this month is for 2 reasons. One, it being Psoriasis Awareness Month, and 2, psoriasis is something that I have and I had struggled with for a long time. You know, and I still remember it vividly back in middle school and high school, having to deal with it, getting picked on. So, something I would like to help get solved, figure out what the root cause is, because it is an autoimmune disease, which just means it's basically your skin cells attacking itself because it thinks there's something wrong. So, would definitely like to see some money go into the research funds, trying to figure out why it does that and all that. So that is why we chose that fundraiser for the month of August, guys. So if you'd like to donate to this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram or Facebook story, or my personal pages, Instagram or Facebook story. Within those stories, you just click on it, it'll open up the actual Facebook page where you're able to make your donations. Keep in mind, all donations that get made to this fundraiser go directly to this fundraiser. No percentage of your donation will be going to Facebook, so you do not have to worry about Facebook taking any portion of that donation. No, it's all going to the cause. I do know times are tough though right now, and not everyone is able to and can afford to donate. So if that is the case, do not feel obligated or bad about it. But if you'd still like to help out, the next best thing you could do is just click on that share button. The main thing we're trying to do is just raise awareness, the fact that it's even happening and going on, and what it's about. That is the main point of the fundraiser. Also to raise money, but to also try to raise awareness. And that goes for all the charities through every single month for the first 7, now 8th, and from here forward. You know, we're trying to raise money, but also just trying to raise awareness for these causes and these charities. So that's pretty much it about on that. We can kind of talk about the 2 other the 2 other somewhat challenges I've been kind of trying to uphold. One of them not very good because of my busy schedule. That one being been trying to read at least 30 minutes a day. Haven't not been getting it in like I'd like to, but it is what it is. At least I'm admitting it. And the next thing I've been doing is trying to also, like the reading, to help expand my vocabulary and just become smarter and a better speaker and stuff like that, is to do a word of the day. So I have been kind of keeping up with that pretty good. Clearly I don't have the word of the day with me offhand. So just like the mileage, I'll be cutting a snippet of the word of the day and editing into this video right here for you.
Today's word of the day is moot. Open to question, debatable, subjected to discussion, disputed, deprived of practical significance, made abstract or purely academic. Moot.
All right. So, we're through word of the day. We're through the monthly mileage and the cause for the monthly mileage. And we are through the intro as well. Now we can get right into today's episode. Episode 218. I'm kind of excited about this episode tomorrow's episode and the following episode. I'm gonna kind of do a triple threat here, but this is one I've been kind of holding off on, so we're gonna get into it. For today's episode 218, today's theme is Discourage. And the reason I want to talk about that is for a couple reasons. One, first and foremost, geez, almost got attacked by a dog. All right, first and foremost, the reason we're talking about Discourage is because a lot of times in life, while we're going through it, we'll hit patches. No matter what we're doing, we can hit patches of feeling discouraged, and we can definitely let it overpower us and really disable us from doing the things that we need to do. And sometimes it's things that we can do, it's easy to us, but something happens within our lives and it really discourages us, and we get into a depressed state, kind of get sad. So first and foremost, it happens to us all. I get through it. Even this year, we're on day 218 in a row. There's been plenty of days this year, I can promise you that have came up and I just wasn't ready for. Things have happened and it just knocked me off my feet and put me right on my butt. And I just felt like I couldn't, just super discouraged, like I couldn't make it through and just wanted to give up. And it's an awful feeling, guys. And again, the reason I wanted to talk about it is not only because we all hit our own patches of discouragement and we can get discouraged throughout life, but one thing I noticed too about myself is I never felt like a lot of people encouraged me. So I felt like I was getting a lot of discouraged from everyone. I remember when I first started running, telling my buddy, oh yeah, I'm running. Oh, yeah, how fast you run? What's your 5K? I tell him, I ran a 5K in 40 minutes. Instead of being like, oh, that's a good job, and giving me something to build off of and make me feel good, like, hey, maybe I'm heading in the right direction. I remember his first comment is, yeah, that's slow, that's not good. And I just remember it hitting me in a way where it was super discouraging. Especially, clearly I'm not fast, I haven't ran, I just started running. The whole point of me isn't to be fast, it's just to get into a better, good shape and good habits. And I get excited about possibly making that change in my life, and I tell them, and looking for some reassurance on the fact that maybe I'm heading in the right direction and doing the right thing and trying to focus on myself, and I get a discouraging remark instead of something that made me feel like, hey, cool. I was looking for some slight validation, not even much, just a little bit to make me feel like, yeah, hey, I can keep doing this, I can keep going. And I just remember getting the exact opposite and thinking, am I doing something right, or am I doing something wrong, or like, should I be doing this? And it wasn't until I let go of all those discouraging things that were being said to me or just being directed towards me from other people, and I just had to let go of it and focus on myself and not let their discouraging things dictate how I was going to feel. And the reason I wanted to talk about this again is not because I think he was purposely trying to be discouraging. I think I can't think off of hand an example that I may have done like that, but I think it's something we all do. I think we don't think about the things we say to certain people, and sometimes they can come off as real discouraging, especially if within that moment the other person is just truly looking for some validation, some confidence that maybe they're doing the right thing. I can't tell you how many times, people are heading in the right direction with their diet, or they start exercising, and one person tells them something that discourages them and it knocks them right off their path. There's so many people out there too that I know of that get discouraged because of the way they feel or the way they look. So they're discouraged to even try to start the process of working towards something. And again, like I said, discouragement and being discouraged is it's very hard. It's not something that's truly easy to deal with. Yeah, I guess I'll just run in the street. Guy taking up the whole sidewalk. All right. So yeah, there's gonna be plenty of moments within life you're gonna be discouraged, and there's gonna be plenty of moments in life that people are gonna say things to you that are gonna be discouraging as well, that are gonna maybe make you question what you're doing or reevaluate your choices, even though they might be the right ones. So all I can say is just don't let the discouragement get to you. Know that it's there only to fuel you and make you stronger. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I struggle with it still to this day. I get discouraged, like I said, but it's always within those moments of being discouraged that, this past year, getting out there and saying, I don't give a shit how discouraged I am. I'm going to put in the miles. I'm doing it. If I can't set out for a goal, I'm doing it. I'm not going to let anything or any feeling get in my way of that. So I did it. And like I said, it's easier said than done, I know, but it's possible. And if you're going to use anything as an example, please use this year of running in my life as an example. Going from someone who never ran 2 years ago to running every day and putting in the miles and running marathons and ultra marathons. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but through all the discouragement and adversity I faced throughout these years, I know that's where we can find the fuel. So for that reason, we're getting ready to close today's episode out, episode 218, and I'm going to leave you with your daily discipline. So for your daily discipline today, day 218, it is to not let and to not be discouraged by anything or anyone. And not only that, but to truly use your words wisely and think about the things you may be saying to other people. Even if you think they may be harmless, try to phrase them in the right way, because sometimes someone who may be fishing for some confidence or some reassurance that they may be doing something, even though if it's not the best or the fastest, if it's in the right direction, if they're looking for some reassurance that they're headed in the right direction, definitely, like I said, use your words cautiously, because sometimes you can definitely discourage someone from doing what they want to do and from following the path that they really need to be on. And like I said, the daily discipline is also to just not let the discouragement get to you, but it's easier said than done, like I said before. So just try to use the discouragement as fuel. Get out there, prove yourself wrong, and prove all those others wrong as well. And like I said, try not to discourage other people within their endeavors. So that is today's episode 218 of the Defining Discipline podcast. Thank you guys so much for following along and listening. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, subscribe, a share, a follow on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been following along and listening on. Other than that, guys, just try to stay disciplined, live a disciplined lifestyle, get out there, just try to make the world a better place. Let's work on ourselves on an individual level. There's so many things that we can work on. I myself am working on myself every day to become the best possible version of myself I can be. Something that I hadn't done for a very long time. So I'm telling you right now, I'm reaping the rewards from it too. So the best advice I can give you is to truly try to live a good life and an honest life. And the more I have been, the more it has been working out for me. So thank you so much for following along and listening. Like I said, this is episode 218. I'll see you tomorrow for 219 with a piggyback episode off of today's episode. Peace!